this is a panel, surprisingly enough, about comedy. And pretty much what we're going to do, I'm going to go through, I'm just going to talk about different types of comedy. I mean, it's mostly a lecture, but we are going to take, questions at the end and stuff. I'll tell you right now, at the very end, do your best not to come up and say, can you sign this? Because they have to clear us out for the next panel. However, tomorrow at 11, we have another panel, a Q&A, and then after that, we're going right to the dealer's room, going to sign all sorts of stuff, and we have prints, and you can ask us questions there. So, with that said, let's get started. I'll introduce myself first. I am Doug Walker. I have a website called MyGuyWithGlasses.com. I do a lot of characters, including Yes, I Guy with Glasses, Video Game Confessions, Bum Reviews, and Nostalgia Critic. Applaud! And with me is...
I'm Jason Laws. I'm Doug's little servant.
Richard Treat. There, have a Sharpie. And to my right is...
I'm Barney Walker. I am Doug's father, and without me, you would have no one here to applaud for.
Okay, so pretty much this is going to be, it's going to be about comedy and, where's Rob? He's coming tomorrow, jerk. Yeah, whatever, we're all here for Rob! Trust me, things are much funnier without him.
I disagree.
That's why they ship us. They hate each other, that'd be cute. Because that's how love works. Okay, so the first thing to talk about with comedy is that it's all subjective. What somebody could find really hilarious, someone else could hate, and vice versa. There's no, book that says, this is the right way, this is the wrong way. Or there probably is, but they're wrong. Even though there's no wrong way. But pretty much is that it's going to be something different to everybody else. There's no mathematical formula to do it. If something makes you laugh, it just makes you laugh. Mostly what we're going to talk about here is sort of the stuff that makes majority of people laugh and patterns that sort of keep popping up in comedy over the years. And with that said, who knows technically, they did a test and everything, technically what the funniest joke of all time is? Don't say it, just raise your hand, you impolite. Yeah, because that's why you're... Why don't you know, because you were here last year. But okay, for those, and some of you know, for those who don't, the joke is there's a guy who's hunting in the woods with his buddy and he accidentally shoots him. And he calls 911 and he says, operator, I shot my friend, it was an accident, oh my god, I'm so concerned, I think he's dead, I don't know what's going on. And she says, alright, well the first thing you have to do is make sure he's actually dead. He says, alright, he goes over, shoots him in the head, now what? No, that's a cute joke. It is not a bad joke.
Someone over there didn't laugh.
Well, but that's part of the point. Even though some of you guys laugh at it, is anyone still laughing? Is anyone oh my god, give me 10 minutes, oh my god. That's not the hardest you've ever laughed at something. That's just statistically what got a laugh. But in terms of what makes you laugh the hardest, that's an area where you take risks and you try something different. And you try to sometimes hit that uncomfortable zone. You go outside the comfort zone because really what comedy is that it's all based on misery. Something bad is happening. And even satire is making fun of something. Coolio worked really hard on his song Gangsta's Paradise, and Weird Al made a song about the Amish. And he was really upset at first, and then he lightened up and now they're cool and everything, but he was really upset because he thought that song was really serious. And it is really serious. So even just mocking the English language can make some people upset. It is all in some way or another based on misery. You make goofy faces to a little baby, goes ha ha ha, laughing at the fact that you look stupid. Laughing at the fact that you're not intelligent, you look like a doofus. I'm smarter than you and I'm a baby, so that's pretty good. But what is that would mean comedy is really mean, and everyone would be terrible if they loved comedy, but that's not what it is. Comedy is a defense mechanism. It's a way of coping with all that misery, with all this bad stuff that happens to us. It's a way of saying, this is a part of life, and it happens, and you'll move on, and it'll be okay. So, with that said, let's talk about, I'll talk about probably my personal favorite kind of comedy, which is slapstick. Slapstick, not slapdick. Slapstick, if you don't know, that's physical humor. That's Tom and Jerry, that's Three Stooges, that's Looney Tunes, all sorts of cartoons do a lot of it. And it's humor where someone gets really, really hurt and maimed, and again, it sounds really sick, but it's really funny. We like seeing cartoon characters get mangled and then they jump right up, but they still have to be hurt. That's what's important about it. They still have to suffer. And again, it sounds sick, but I think I did something on, in Home Alone, on the commentary. How many have seen Home Alone? Most of you checked it out, yeah. It's like 20 years old now, don't you feel old?
I'm 30, of course I feel old.
I look at you like, boo, getting old. Boo time. That a lot of the slapstick in there works really well. You have buckets hitting the person on the head, you have them getting their head set on fire and screaming and stuff. The one that almost always gets the smallest laugh, you remember when the fan blows feathers on him? And it's like, you kind of chuckle and stuff, but nobody is like, ah, it's feathers, that must have hurt. It's everyone, that's a soft hit, that's a soft laugh. Because the more it hurts, the more funny it is, because again, it's adapting to an even stronger pain, and thus it's taking a little bit more of a risk. In Tom and Jerry cartoons, or even Adventure Time, like we do the Adventure Time vlogs, they got some really great slapstick. Something they'll do often, I think they play with a lot, is just before something hits the character, the more content they can look. In Tom and Jerry, Jerry will go like this, and Tom will go, and he'll hold that face, and you already start laughing because you know it's coming. And it's gonna hurt so bad, and his incredibly pleasant world is gonna be crushed in a second. And that just makes the pain all the more harsh. So the more content and more happy someone can be before that pain just totally destroys them, the more of a laugh it's most likely going to get.
Okay, time for a comedy poll here very quickly. Be honest with this. If you're a guy, if you think you're a guy, how many guys here like the Three Stooges? Woo! All right, now here's the honest part. How many girls like the Three Stooges?
More than you think!
Yeah, there is a gender difference. If I had a dollar for every time that I had a female say to me, "What do you like about that?" It's sickening. They're hitting one another. Yeah, they're beating them. Yeah.
Well, that does bring up a good point. No, because I remember growing up, now I think our generation is more like male or female sort of likes Three Stooges a little bit more, because I've definitely been noticing that. But I have noticed that growing up, there's definitely a lot that were like, I don't get, it's stupid. And it is stupid. I mean, it's not like watching that is going to make you a physicist or anything like that, though sometimes they wear lab coats. But for the most part, it's just dumb comedy. It's dumb physical comedy, but it's still done right. There is a strategy to it. With a lot of this comedy, whenever somebody says, oh, that's just dumb, it's like there's still a method to it. This brings me to one I really get a lot of kicks out of. It's a... I'm not trying to remember what it was. No, okay. Kind of like situational comedy. This is sitcoms, this is reality TV, just someone is so stupid, or, someone delivers a line, and the audience laughs and stuff like that. Or again, Adventure Time. Okay, it's not a sitcom, but at the same time, a lot of that is based on just how goofy, or weird some of the characters say, what they say.
Yeah.
Jake says some of the weirdest, dumbest things.
What the lump.
Yeah. During big hectic situations, a monster trying to eat him, it'll be like, I want a sandwich. Just weird stuff like that. And a lot of that, again, just sort of depends on the situation. The more chaotic something can be, and the more someone is not getting it, the more, even if everybody on screen isn't necessarily getting this is a bad thing, you can also be the one that the comedy is being done on. I think Adventure Time does do that sometimes, where they'll have everybody sort of or Family Guy or Simpsons, they'll have everybody content about something that is obviously awful. And they'll just be really happy about it. So it's like, where's the comedy? None of them are suffering. But you're the one who knows better. You're the one that, it's like the show is telling you, no, this is fine. this is great. You know, it's great that Springfield is like, you know, the fattest state in the country or something like that. And they all like are so happy and dancing. They jiggle all their bellies together and stuff like that. But you laugh because you know that that's not good, and yet they have it as like this great trophy, pretty much. So, with that said, I think we also go into probably one of your favorites, surreal, goofy, silly. Yeah, that. This is the stuff that comes totally out of left field. And what I mean with that is that there's kind of 3 different ways, like, you can do, you know, sort of do a joke. I mean, there's variations, but it's sort of 3 different ways. And I'm gonna need a volunteer from the audience to hurt me. I like how I said volunteer, and some hands went up to hurt me. Yeah! Let's see. Yeah, let's go with other me. Yeah.
Make yourself proud.